There's smaller churches, or even the big churches that have smaller events, where there's an alternative method for submitting the checks without running over to the bank with a deposit slip. And that is, many banks now are allowing you to take a photo of your check on your smartphone and email it to the bank. Could you tell us a little bit about your experience with photo submission of receipts?
Yes, this is fairly new for businesses, churches, nonprofit organizations. We must keep in mind how to securely either destroy that check after it's been uploaded or keep that in a safe place for a period of time. But once it's uploaded, again, you have an electronic copy from the bank, and you have the documentation, and you can run multiple pictures and deposits through the bank at one time. So that is nice. It's a time saver, and it's an efficiency that is just starting to really trend, I would think.
Does the individual submitting the photo have to have special clearance or access to do that?
The way our bank handles that is when I know I'm going to have field submitted checks, I will literally give them permission for that date just for that process. I won't add them to my signature card, and I won't give them a sign-on, to all of the functions of my bank account. I will mention a bank, not necessarily to endorse them, but Central Bank here in Missouri can cover any church anywhere in Missouri with this system, and they can handle your checks very cost effectively. So it's not just a mega bank that can provide this service.
Steve, let's talk briefly about handling cash as would come in on a typical Sunday morning.
I would say for medium and larger churches, cash is becoming a smaller and smaller item. But still, speaking as a church treasurer, cash scares me to death. Christy, can you tell us some of the best practices for handling cash in a church environment?
Yes. When the ushers are collecting cash, first you want the ushers to collect and count the cash. But you also want a second person or other people other than the particular ushers to count that a second time and record that. It gives a good internal control for the cash received. And then storing cash. You're collecting on a Sunday. Do you have the proper controls to keep that money safe until Monday morning when you can take it to the bank? Or is someone going to take that to the bank Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening? And there are some issues about taking cash to the bank and some exposure for theft.
I'm extremely sensitive to this, making a church kind of a dangerous place to be when there's cash on hand. One of the controls you talked about, the double count with two people, is an excellent control. The next best control is getting the cash out of the church building immediately. Then another concern with cash comes back to the giving statements. When you receive cash, there's no name where that cash came from. For some of the congregation members, they will use envelopes and put their name on the envelope, and we'll write the amount of cash that was inside of the envelope on the envelope, and we will literally scan that envelope along with our checks so that we have one document that has all of the checks received and all of the cash received. However, you will always have cash that hits the collection plate where you have no idea where it came from. It presents a real paradox because at the end of the year, if the congregation member calls and says, "But I donated $3,000 in cash," my response has to be, if I didn't know where it came from, I can't justify it on a giving statement and qualify it as IRS deductible cash. You, the congregation member, will have to do that yourself.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you, Christy. We hope that this is helpful information for you as you seek to do God's work in your congregation. Thank you.